What if I told you that the compliments you think women want to hear are actually killing your attraction? That every "you're beautiful" and "you're amazing" is pushing her further away from you? The ancient Stoics understood something about human psychology that modern men have completely forgotten. They knew that the most powerful words aren't the ones that flatter the ego. They're the ones that penetrate the soul and reveal deeper truths about character. Today I'm going to share 3 compliments that are so psychologically potent. Most men are afraid to use them. These aren't pickup lines or manipulation tactics. They're observations rooted in Stoic wisdom that cut through surface-level attraction and create something far more powerful: genuine respect and desire. But here's the warning: once you start using these, you can't go back to the weak, generic compliments that every other guy is throwing around. Ready to separate yourself from the masses? Forbidden compliment number 1. I respect how you handle difficulty. Here's what every basic guy does when he wants to compliment a woman. He talks about her appearance, her smile, or how perfect she is. Now, this is boring, predictable, and completely forgettable. But the Stoic man sees deeper. He watches how she responds when life hits her in the face. And that's where he delivers a compliment that will haunt her thoughts for weeks. Let me explain why this works by telling you about Sarah, a woman I dated who completely changed my perspective on attraction. Most guys would look at Sarah and compliment her look. She was objectively stunning. But what caught my attention wasn't her appearance. It was watching her handle her father's sudden illness. While others around her were falling apart, making the situation about their own emotions, Sarah stayed calm. She organized the family, made the hard decisions, and kept everyone focused on what actually mattered. She didn't break down until everything was handled, and even then, she did it privately. That's when I looked her in the eye and said, "I respect how you handled difficulty." Most people crumble under pressure, but you become more yourself. The effect was immediate and profound. Her entire demeanor changed. She went from polite interest to complete focus on me. Why? Because I had seen something in her that she valued about herself, but that no one else had ever noticed. Here's the Stoic principle at work. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." When you compliment a woman on how she handles change, adversity, or pressure, you're acknowledging her character, the thing that actually defines who she is. This isn't about her genetics or luck. It's about her choices, her values, her strength. And when you recognize that strength, you're doing something that 99% of men never do. You're seeing her as a complete human being rather than just an object of desire. Forbidden compliment number 2. You have a rare kind of intelligence. Most men think intelligence means book smarts or career success. They compliment women on being smart in the most generic, meaningless way possible. But the Stoic understands that true intelligence isn't about what you know, it's about how you think. The second forbidden compliment targets something most women never get recognized for: the quality of their reasoning, their curiosity, or their ability to see patterns and connections that others miss. I learned this from watching my friend Marcus interact with women. This guy was average looking, with a decent job, nothing spectacular on paper. But women would become absolutely fascinated with him after one conversation. I finally asked him what his secret was. He said, "I pay attention to how their minds work, not just what they say." Then he showed me. We were at a party talking to this woman who was a marketing executive. While other guys were complimenting her success or asking about her job, Marcus was listening to how she thought about problems. After she explained a campaign she'd worked on, instead of saying, "That's impressive," or "You're so smart," Marcus said, "You have a rare kind of intelligence. You don't just see what's happening, you see what's going to happen." Are reactive, but your mind works 3 steps ahead. I watched this woman's entire energy shift. She went from polite conversation to complete engagement. Later, she told me that compliment had affected her more than anything anyone had said to her in months. Here's why this works from a Stoic perspective. Epictetus taught that wisdom is the highest virtue. When you recognize someone's wisdom, not their knowledge, but their actual capacity for clear thinking. You're acknowledging the thing they've worked hardest to develop. But you have to be specific. Generic, your smart compliments are meaningless. You need to identify the particular type of intelligence she demonstrates. You have this intuitive intelligence about people. You read between the lines in ways that most people miss. Your mind connects ideas that seem unrelated. That's a rare form of creativity. You ask questions that get to the heart of things. Most people ask surface questions, but you dig deeper. You have emotional intelligence that's almost scary. You understand motivations that people don't even understand about themselves. The key is that you're not complimenting what she learned in school or what her job taught her. You're complimenting how her mind naturally operates, the patterns of thinking that make her uniquely her. Forbidden. Compliment number 3. You bring out something better in people. This is the nuclear option. The compliment that bypasses every defense mechanism and speaks directly to a woman's deepest desire to be valued for her impact on the world. The Stoic philosophy teaches that our highest purpose is to contribute to the common good, to make the world better through our presence. When you recognize a woman's ability to elevate others, you're acknowledging something profound about her character and her effect on the world. Let me tell you about the moment I discovered the power of this compliment. I was at my friend Jake's birthday party watching his girlfriend Emma interact with everyone. While Jake was getting drunk and loud with his buddies, Emma was doing something different. She was asking thoughtful questions, making people feel included, and turning surface-level small talk into meaningful conversations. I watched her notice that one guy seemed left out and smoothly bring him into the group. I saw her diffuse tension when 2 people started arguing about politics. She wasn't performing or seeking attention. She was just naturally making the entire gathering better. Later, when Jake was passed out and Emma was cleaning up, I said to her, "You know what I noticed tonight? You bring out something better in people. Everyone leaves conversations with you feeling more interesting, more confident, more connected. That's a rare gift." She stopped what she was doing and just looked at me. Then she said something that stuck with me. "That's the most meaningful thing anyone has ever said to me. I never knew anyone noticed that." Here's why this compliment is so powerful. It acknowledges her impact beyond herself. It recognizes that she makes other people's lives better just by being who she is. And for most women, this is something they do instinctively, but never get recognized for. Women are often praised for what they achieve or how they look, but rarely for how they affect the people around them. Yet this is often what they're most proud of: their ability to make others feel seen, understood, and valued. The Stoic angle here is crucial. Seneca wrote, "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end." When you acknowledge that, a woman creates positive change in others. You're recognizing her as someone who contributes to human flourishing, the highest Stoic ideal. But again, this can't be generic. You need to be specific about what you've observed. You have this ability to make people feel heard in conversations. I watched you tonight, and everyone who talked to you walked away standing a little taller. You bring out people's curiosity. I've never seen someone ask questions that make others think so deeply about their own lives. You create safety for people to be vulnerable. That's why everyone opens up to you. They can sense that you won't judge them. You see potential in people that they don't see in themselves. You have this way of believing in others that makes them believe in themselves. This compliment works because it positions her as someone who adds value to the world, not just someone who is valuable to look at. It acknowledges her agency, her character, and her positive impact on others. Most men never think to notice these qualities, let alone comment on them. They're too focused on what they can get from her to pay attention to what she gives to others. But when you recognize and appreciate her capacity to elevate others, you're seeing her in a way that no one else does. You're acknowledging something she's probably never heard about herself, despite it being central to who she is. Here's what ties all 3 of these compliments together. They're rooted in Stoic principles of recognizing virtue, wisdom, and positive impact. They require you to be present, observant, and genuinely interested in character rather than surface qualities. Comment below with observer. If you're ready to start paying attention to character instead of just appearance or surface, if you're going to stick with the basic compliments that every other guy uses, If you found value in this, subscribe for more content that combines ancient wisdom with modern attraction, because the principles that created strong men 2,000 years ago still work today if you're brave enough to apply them.